Hello and welcome to SS Adventures in 2016, which is so exciting that it has been nearly a year of me having this channel. I feel like I've done so much in a year. It's been a really crazy year for me, and I'm really happy that you guys decided to join in on this adventure and watch where I'm going and what I'm doing. I'm probably releasing my 2015 roundup a little bit late. It's already halfway through January, but I've been so busy at the start of this year that really I just haven't had time to sit down and reflect. I started my New Year's resolutions at the end of 2015, so kind of before you're supposed to start them, but I think that's good. That's start how you mean to go on, so that's what I'm gonna do. I thought we'd just take a quick look back at the year and kind of quickly reflect on what's happened and talk a little bit about what I want to do this year and where I want to go and what we're going to be doing and how things are going to be changing, which is not too much, just a little, just enough to keep it good. I started off 2015 in New Zealand, living in Wellington, which I had been living in Wellington for nearly 8 years by that point. Wellington, I considered it my home. I had friends there, I went to school there when I was younger, I was working. I really love Wellington, and I highly recommend, if you are ever over that side of the world, visiting Wellington. Good coffee, good people, good atmosphere, just everything you could possibly want in a city. At the time it was January, but it was the middle of summer. It was super hot and I lived literally around the corner from my best friend, so we went to the beach lots, which was awesome. I got lots of swimming done, lots of sunbathing, lots of barbecues, lots of hanging out with friends, it was a really good summer to say goodbye to New Zealand, but it was time for me to move on from Wellington. So with that plan in mind, me and Byron decided that we were going to take my mum and my stepdad's camper van that they have and go all the way around the South Island. So we started essentially from the top and did a clockwise rotation of the South Island of New Zealand. Some of the things we got up to while we were in the South Island were horseback riding. We went on a helicopter and landed on the top of a mountain on a glacier. That was so fun and just nerve-wracking, but it is one of the most exciting things I've ever done, and I will definitely be looking to do more stuff like that because it was awesome. We went quad biking, we went on jet boats, we had a really adventure-packed kind of 2 weeks, which I love. Those are my favorite types of holidays, and I definitely plan to do more of those this year. And after we spent our 2 weeks in the South Island, we came back to the North Island, which is where I lived, and we said goodbye to family. We only had a couple of days before we flew to the UK, which we did in March, and that was crazy scary and nerve-wracking and super life-changing. Originally from England, we both have English passports, and so we thought, why not? It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to move to the other side of the world, and me and Byron have now done that multiple times, which makes us incredibly lucky, and we were both brought up in households that love and value travel and experience, so we decided that we were also those types of people, that we needed to move countries, do it ourselves, and just see what's out there. And we just thought the UK, I have family here, Byron has family here, we just thought it was a really good opportunity to see lots of Europe, to connect with family again, and to see what we could do in a different country, which was awesome. Shortly after arriving in the UK, 2 of our friends came over from New Zealand, which was awesome because it was right around the time that I was feeling super homesick for New Zealand, so to see a familiar face and hang out with them. And we kind of went all around London. We went to the aquarium, we went to the London Dungeon, we went out for dinner at this really gorgeous restaurant, and we just got generally to hang out with them, and that was fantastic. In June, we took our first trip into Europe together and we went to Rome. It was awesome. We are both classic buffs and we love ancient history, so to see Rome up close was just spectacular. We got to go to the Colosseum, we got to see a whole load of architecture, we went on some history walks, we ate far too much Italian food and drank far too much Italian wine, but it was so worth it, and I definitely think we're going to go back to Italy. Maybe not to Rome, but somewhere in Italy is definitely on the cards. When we got back from Rome, it was only a couple of weeks before my dad got remarried, and we went to the wedding and it was beautiful and I cried and it was amazing and we had so much fun, and there was an Elvis and everything was just really fun. In May, we went to our first music festival in the UK, which was Reading Festival, and we saw one of my favourite bands of all time, which was completely just so overwhelming for me because I've loved them forever. We saw Metallica and I lost my voice promptly the next day because I had just screamed the lyrics at the top of my lungs. We also got to see Royal Blood, which were great. I've kind of fallen in love with that band a little bit since arriving in the UK. They play on the radio all the time and I love them. We then took our second trip into Europe to visit Germany. We went to Berlin, which I fell in love with Berlin. Everybody was just so accommodating. We were in East Berlin, and where we were in East Berlin was beautiful. We Airbnb'd it, stayed in this amazing little apartment. We went for drinks at these amazing bars. We ate good food again. We spent a lot of time kind of around the Alexander Plaza, which is a really cool area. There's lots of cafes, shops, entertainment. We took a boat ride and went through to West Berlin, which was amazing to see the history and the culture. We walked along the wall, we looked at all the graffiti. It was just a really, really good time. I love Germany. I speak a little bit of German very badly and it just barely got us through. Yeah, I'm a big believer in at least attempting to try some of the language because not everyone speaks English and not everybody should have to speak English. I think it's very ignorant to believe that everybody should speak the language that you were taught, especially when English is such a hard, confusing language to learn. There are so many variations of it. It's been bastardized over the years. It's not an easy language, so I do believe in trying to just say please and thank you, hello, how's your day, in wherever you are. And I attempt to do that all the time, but knowing a little bit of German, I tried extra hard this time. Being a nervous person, I freaked out quite a lot and ended up just saying the phrase, do you speak English? Or I'm not sure, I don't understand a lot in German, which people totally got and they were fine with. So I attempted to speak a little German. It worked sometimes, it didn't others. Life goes on. In October, it was my birthday, of which we went into London and spent a little bit of time eating. We watched a musical. It was amazing. I had lots of fun and it was a really good birthday week. We went to go see Bullet for My Valentine at a place literally around the corner from us. Nostalgia for me because I think maybe I was 13, 14 when I listened to them, but it was really cool to see them live and I had lots of fun. So in October we took a trip to Scotland, which was great. It's really good to see other parts of the UK that are not just England. While in Scotland we got to see my little brother and sister, which was so much fun. To the end of the year, it was Byron's birthday, of which we went to this amazing little restaurant called Buddha Bar, which is in London. We went to Brixton to see Sarah Jane Moon. I will leave a link in the description below. She does amazing art. We spent Christmas at my dad's and it was really nice to have a Christmas with him and that side of the family, and my nan and granddad came and it was just a really good time. For New Year's, we didn't go anywhere or do anything special. We just spent our first New Year's together in England, having some drinks. We kind of did a crawl around some of the bars near our house. We watched some fireworks, and at 3 in the morning we played cards and finished our last bottle of wine, and that was really lovely to have a New Year's. The past 4 to 5 years I've gone to my best friend's New Year's party, so I was a little bit sad that it was the first year that I wasn't having New Year's with my best friend, so it was nice to just have like a really quiet, good one with Byron. So that is everything I got up to in 2015. As for 2016, we have some plans in the work for a trip around Europe in May. Haven't finalized those details yet, but that is the plan. We're also looking at going back to Scotland before the snow is gone so that I can learn to snowboard, so that later in the year, near the end of the year, we can go to France. At the end of 2016, we are going to be heading back to New Zealand to spend Christmas with our families in New Zealand and our friends in New Zealand, and we will stay for New Year's. We are just planning for that, and we haven't decided if we're going to do a stopover on the way or if we're going to maybe go to Australia or a Pacific island before we land in New Zealand, but we will definitely be doing something on that trip, and I am really looking forward to that. And then in between Europe in May and New Zealand in December, we will have lots of other things planned, but I haven't finalized anything, so I can't tell you about it. Why don't you tell me what your goals for 2016 are and where you're planning on traveling this year? Is there anywhere you're going that you're super excited about? I just want to thank you guys for sticking with me through 2015. It was a really weird and strange year of my life, and obviously it was the first year that I've been doing this, so from here I'd really like to improve, so hopefully these videos will just keep getting better. So thank you guys for sticking with me. Remember, if you're not subscribed to this channel, you can subscribe. There's a button somewhere down here. Feel free to go back and watch the last year of vlogs. They're pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to 2016 and I hope you guys stick with me, and I'm just having lots of fun and I hope you guys are too.